Welcome to the It's Your Choice podcast, where we learn how to rewire our brains to live the life we desire. On with the show. Welcome to It's Your Choice podcast. Today I'm talking to Aisha Makara. Thank you, Aisha, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm actually here in Lisbon, very far away from you, where you guys probably, and we have such rainy days. This like I think past 2 weeks, a lot of rain, and it's actually cold for March.
Yeah, Portugal, that's not I mean, I guess it's some rain and it does get cooler. I was there one time. I think it was November-ish, and I was surprised with how windy it got. It was pretty chilly and windy at that time of the year.
It can be. I mean, normally we have a lot of like sunny days. It's like a
Mm.
300 days a year. It's a sunny days, and this year was a lot of rain actually. Changing
Okay.
changes, some climate
Yes.
changes.
Yes,
That's for sure.
definitely. Aisha, you are the author of a book called Joyful Living Guidebook, and it talks about how simple actions can keep us joyful and centered and everything with the whole crazy world going on around us. So let's go back into beginning of what made you want to write this book.
It's such an interesting story. I've been living that time in Miami and living out of my van, selling my art, traveling from the festival to festival. I would say it was my like a hippie life. And I really love it. I was very independent. I know how to organize myself. I know where I want to travel. I know like everything was like in my life in that moment. I was living a dream. Like I already knew that I'm living a dream, and my dream is just amazing. I'm living in a tropical weather. I have like a crazy Miami. I can go to the homestead. I can go to the north of Florida. And it's so many national parks. It's just like so beautiful, so magical. And I have a chameleon as a pet, and for like a while, and I have a rabbit as a pet as well, and like many things like was wonderful. And one day, my van was broken in, and absolutely everything was like taken from me. All my life was gone in one day, and I was sitting there with no phones, no money, nothing, no documents, and didn't know what to do. I was like, wow, that's the first time in my life I'm experiencing something like that. Like I'm living my dream, and at the same time, somebody just smashed it, like in such a way that it was so brutal and at the same time so like heavy, I would say. And I just give myself like a few days to kind of like think through. Of course, I ask support. That's the first time in my life I ask for support from the hippie community, the festival scene. And I was ended up in the community, living and helping to the festivals, and I was just get to kind of every time travel was a community to all these different festivals, because it was not easy to get a job without documents, without anything. So, and it took me time to recover my passport, my other thing, because first I got to make the money, and I got to kind of like started to slowly like getting back to my life, and it took me like almost a year to recover my passport. And yes, and but the funny things what happened after like a month or something, after this experience happened, I got the opportunity to send my art to the space. And like one of my friends, I was telling them to my friends, my hippie friends, like, oh, I want to send my art to the space, it's one of my dreams. And here the opportunity arrived, and I applied. I went through the interview, I signed up the contract, and they selected me. And what happened is like I was understood like absolutely all my dreams is real. Like all I'm dreaming about is just happening somehow. And I get to just trust the process, because my dreams that I'm dreaming right now, sending myself to the space, paint the rocket, and I'm just feeling like it's possible. The opportunity will arrive in the right moment, and in that right moment, I will be there. So I wanted to kind of like a share my dream life. And I call it like a joyful living guidebook, when I already knew that all my dreams is real, and absolutely everyone has the opportunity to live the dream. The thing is, you get to have as many dreams as possible, and all of them somehow will be real. And of course, you get to take that opportunity to live them, right? It's not just like waiting on them when they arrive. At the same time, sometimes you're waiting and they arrived naturally, to your hands. You get to just catch it. So for me, like, I want to share this in my book. So I did, with my art and some suggestions of what it is joyful life for me. And I started to write different things like meditation, journaling, do something different every day, like really like enjoy the life itself, enjoy your up and downs, enjoy your breakdowns and breakthrough. And because it's life, you cannot like change the things that happened, and at the same time make the best out of it, make the best of what's happening, but it's happening for you, not to you. And I'm feeling like many people getting upset and miserable, or feeling like that victims of the life. And I want to share that it's not about time of surviving, it's about time of thriving. So it's about time for us to thrive, because we're already living in abundance and joy. We get to just, let's say, like see it and feel it. And people are getting in a scarcity mindset instead to live in an abundance mindset. And always thinking about tomorrow, that tomorrow will never be there, and we always wake up in it today. So like I'm feeling like as far as we are healthy, happy, and humble, we have absolutely anything in our life to live it up and enjoy it. So for me, like the book is kind of like testament of my reality that I'm living through, or like living in, because I just share very simple things like my art, if you see like a little bit in the
Yeah,
video
it's
here.
beautiful. Hmm.
And I did like a little bit different suggestions of the things that I think it's just simplicity. Everything is about
Mm,
make your life as simple as possible, and also enjoy your struggles, enjoy absolutely all of it. Because when we make decisions to do something that we haven't done yet, it's just a practice, right? We get to face it and enjoy it. Yes, it's struggle because it's not easy in the beginning, and after a while, it just become easy and easier, because we're learning through the process, and we get to be open to the process and trust to the process. And many people getting scared, and I'm just feeling like, why are you getting scared of something that you haven't done? It's just there for you, and it's going to be your experience. For example, my friends went to Barcelona. Like we went,
mhm.
you said to me you were in Barcelona as well, and she was telling me, "Oh, Barcelona, it's a not good city. You shouldn't go there." She had not good experience, like as a tourist. Like she lost her pocket, or somebody stole her pocket, like some things or
Mhm.
something. And I said to her, "Listen, you have the experience of your Barcelona. I will have experience of my Barcelona. So please don't
Right.
put on me the thoughts, these ideas that you experienced, and I will have my own experience. So I don't want to put in my mind the thing that you already experienced, because it's not my experience, it's your experience." So like every time when people say to me, "Oh, don't do this, or don't talk to this person, or don't be friends with this person," and I'm like, okay, it's your experience. That's
Mhm.
what you want to have. If I'm curious and I want to do something, or I want to know someone, it's my choice. And I get to go through this experience because I choose to. And many people like scary, or they listen to the others
Mm,
and they don't make their own choices. And I'm feeling like when you have curiosity, go and do it, because
right.
nobody else will live it up for you. You get to go and live it up for yourself. And
And as you said, your experience is gonna be different, and if you say to me we'll just use that Barcelona as an example of, Oh, it's bad, and there's pickpockets, and yes, there are, and you need to be aware, like several other cities around the world. But if you start to give all this bad information about bad things, then we look for it, right? Then we don't have those experiences, or we look for the bad instead of, as you said, having your own experience, whether it's travel or moving or getting into meditation or whatever it may be. And everything is hard at first. We didn't just easily walk. We didn't easily ride a bike. We didn't easily drive a car. Everything we learned took challenges.
Exactly. And that's what I was telling to the people. Like, you get to enjoy the life. Life is full of surprises. And you get to be open to the surprises. And the reality, it's not good experience or not good experience. It's experience itself. Like me having this experience, my apartment broken in the first year of being in Miami. And after the second year of Miami, like my van was broken in. Like all the experience that I experienced was the first time in my life. The things is, yes, it was painful experience to recover from. And the same time, I had the resilience, and I said to myself, okay, if it's this experience has happened, something more magical will happen next. I don't know how
Right.
big it's going to be. I just know I get to go through this experience and face it and understand that is for me, and that is for
Mm,
me to to face it and actually face it with a gratitude and grace. And people, getting too much in their sadness after the experience, of course it's sad. I mean, it's
yeah.
normal, the feeling of feeling sad. In the same time, like, how long you want to be sad about that?
Right.
Why?
Sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to let you know about the Mind Matters weekly newsletter that is full of actionable tips to help you rewire your brain to live the life that you desire. Sign up for it at sallypeterson.com. And when you do, you'll get the top 5 brain hacks for peak performance. Again, you can get it at sallypeterson.com. Now back to the show.
About that. I mean, I understand when you had a dog for 16 years and the dog you're dying. Yes, you can be sad for like 1 week or 2 weeks. It's a normal process of life. The death, it's
Mm,
normal process of life. Knowing that your mother will die, your father will die, it's like a normal process of life. Why you're taking so much time of recovering from the experience?
right.
And it's up to us to decide how long we want to take the sadness through our life, and why we're facing the sadness, and why we're facing this deepness of the sadness. Sometimes it's necessary to go through the sadness and
Right.
experience maybe 1 year, 2 years, I don't know, 3 years of sadness, because we're going deep within ourselves to learn
Mm,
deeper about our boundaries, about our ground, like I would say it's a like our center, because
mm,
life is about balance, and we are the center. We get to
right.
create that center inside of ourselves. And the thing is, with the order and flow in the same time, we get to find that order and flow in the same time and trust the process of life. Because we have, all of us, while we're here, we need like to be here. Planet Earth want us here because it's necessary for us to go through the experiences. And every time when I'm going through the experience, I know I'm not alone. I know someone else in the world going through the same experience, maybe some experience more unique than others. And at the same time, I know that I'm not alone.
Right.
I just don't know these other people. And I know that these people exist somewhere in the world. And I'm just feeling like, why people don't like enjoy the life, why they don't enjoy their sadness, why they don't enjoy even the misery sometimes, like I feel
Well,
like
it's true because I mean, part of it is how do we know happiness if we don't know sad? Is one and life does have those things as you said, like we all will die eventually. And it is sad. We do miss the people who leave us, but we also have to focus on the fun, good times, the experiences that we had, and realize that's what life is. It is all about experiences and what we focus on, and knowing that every struggle that we go through makes us stronger to prepare for what's yet to come. And I'm a true believer too that when things happen, sometimes I'm like, we can look at it good or bad, or you never know because when one thing's happen, it could affect something else. Like it could be for you, if your van was never broken into, maybe you wouldn't have been able to put your artwork out in space because you could have been in a different area, you could have been doing something different. Like everything happens for us to be exactly where we're at. And if everything didn't happen, and some people listening might be thinking, well, geez, I'm not in a good spot right now. And I can understand that because, again, we go through things, but knowing that this too will pass, this is a learning experience. And sometimes some lessons are hard, they're challenging for sure, but knowing that it will get better. And we'll never, if we don't go through those rough times, we can never go back and say, "Oh, remember that time when," or we think it's terrible and it's bad. And situation could be one thing of a family breaks up, people get divorced and they go through that tough time. But fast forward 5, 10, 20 years later, I've spoken to people and they were said, "Oh yeah, my spouse left me. It was terrible and it was sad." But they were like, "It was the best thing that ever happened because now my life is way more amazing and better and whatever," as opposed to somebody who gets stuck in that sadness forever and anger and just don't kind of get
Misery,
through it
I
to
call
move
it, like
on.
some. Exactly. And I was like, I also like talk to many people who been married for many, many years. And I mean, both, who is angry and frustrated and kind of like not
Mhm,
happy about life after the experience. And I just feel like we have a choice. We always have a choice the way we want to act and the way we want
mhm,
to react. And every time when emotions come and go, I know the emotion, we let them to stay, like
right.
we let to stay the emotion that it can be like the emotion maybe like not good for us, but we let it stay because we wanted to stay that emotion. And if we just like we just observing them and we zoom in and zoom out every time and asking ourselves like why I'm doing it to myself, why I'm like
Right,
after each breakup I'm taking that several months or a year to recover for the next relationship, why I'm doing it to myself. Like last my breakup was like I said to myself, okay, I'm going to reward myself with amazing dress, with amazing dinner, going to an amazing restaurant by myself and having a great time. And and like I had a great time, and like I'm feeling like I didn't give my I cried of course, but like the things is because I had this like a hope, let's say, like about
mm,
like the way we can organize ourselves or way develop the relationship. And it didn't work because the other person didn't want the same thing that I wanted. And it's not about like I'm selfish to like pushing that person to do what I want. I said, okay, I don't want to fight, I don't want to do anything, but today I can cry, and in the
mhm,
evening I will go to the beautiful restaurant, go to do shopping or do whatever, and like maybe walk and go to the nice museum. And at the same time, like I don't want to like take too much time to like cry about that or be sad or talk about even that, like I don't want. I said to myself, it's enough. I just shared with my best friend. I said to her like,
mm,
oh, this what happened. And then she said to me, just go and go to the nice restaurant, just reward yourself with something. You did amazing, you at least like did something. So I just like, yes, it's true. Like my other friend, she said to me, just go and buy a beautiful dress and just go. You're so beautiful. And I'm just feeling like every time when we're going through the experience,
mm,
we get to understand how long we wanna like be in the loop of sadness and anger or whatever it is,
right.
or we just decided like I'm living my dream life, I'm living my joyful life. Yes, I'm still going through some loops of karma, whatever it is, because we're still living in a 3D matrix reality, and the matrix want us to be sad, matrix want us to be scary, to have
Mm,
a fears, to have all of that, because matrix want to kind of control us. In reality, it's nothing to be fear about. We're going to die, we're all going to die one day. Why I get to think about 10 years or 20 years about my retirement now, and I'm just feeling like yes, that day will happen one day, maybe will never happen, I even don't know.
right. It's
Like
true.
I'm going to die one day and I will notice that I'm not here anymore. It just happened is also one day. And I'm just asking myself like, why I get to be scary of the future instead to be excited and curious about what's going to happen next with me. And I started to switch, my mindset, and I started was through meditation, and I just accept absolutely each day with gratitude. In my book, I have like I set up intention of the day, I set up intention of the months, I set up intention of the week. So I'm just feeling like every time when I set up intentions, I see how it flows. Because for
Mm,
me, intention is like an order. It's like the word how you kind of like going through through yourself, through your heart, or through your body. And I'm feeling like every time when I say to myself, oh, these months is a self-love. And when I'm going through something and I'm like saying to myself, does it really like self-love I'm going through right now? Does it like self-love for me it looks like? And
mm,
and I say, yes, it's probably look like this because I deeply inside, I ask myself, do I enjoy it? And my answer was be yes, I do. And at the same time, sometimes I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, it's just so scary. And I ask, and it's like each experience can be like more and more scary because you don't know. And the thing is, I ask myself, do I enjoy? And I said, yes, I do. So why I'm I want to control, or why I want to like kind of like be scary of something that I never done before. Like it's just opportunity for me to see myself in that space that I haven't been
mm,
yet, and be
right.
still be me in that space, even it's the first time to be in that space. And I'm just thinking like sometimes when we started to dance, for example, we never dance, for example, salsa or bachata, or like some like a couple dance or hip hop, whatever. And the first time when you're coming on the floor, on dance floor, and you started to do that, it's the first time,
Yeah.
and you understand you like it or not, but you get to at least to try several times to understand, do you enjoy it or not? Maybe I
Right.
give myself like normally like a 3 months, like to try something different. And I'm just feeling
Mm,
like I already know after a month, after like something, I already know, do I really enjoy it or not? And do I want to continue to push myself through if I'm like I have a completely like strong resistance towards that? And I'm saying to myself, well, I'm pushing myself towards something that my body doesn't even want to be in. and
right.
and I'm asking myself why we do something and don't listen to our body, because our body knows the best. It's just like, it's kind of vacuum. It's like when
Mm,
you need that experience, the body just naturally started to dance, like this, like salsa or whatever, like different things, because it's just happening natural when you like letting go of that resistance, or like this kind of like a control idea of just started to feel instead to think,
mm,
and like
mm,
working on your feelings and started to feel, the flow started to happen in more natural and more beautiful way.
right.
And I feel like intentions help us and boundaries help us by
Mm.
communicating our boundaries and set up our clear boundaries by having our principles and values that important for me in the first place, and communicate them with the world and see who is going to understand that and respect that and who is not. Because
I think that it's very important, and we need to have boundaries. And boundaries are for ourselves and they're for other people. And we have to know putting boundaries is not a bad thing. It's not mean. It's not selfish. I'm like, maybe, but selfish in a good way, because
yes,
I need to do good for what is good for me. You need to do what is good for you. Everybody's different because our personalities are different. As you said, our experience, our wants, our desires, our everything is different, and we need to know. And if I'm really at a stage right now that um, pretty much everything I think about is, does it bring me joy? If the answer is no, then the answer is no for whatever's kind of going on. And I get that sometimes we have to do and deal with certain things. I mean, I do too. I'm dealing with some stuff. My mom passed a few months ago. And so, dealing with estate things. And I mean, it's not fun. It's not like it's pain, and there's stuff that I'm learning to do. But it's like, okay, I've got to get through this. But it's how I respond to it, right? I could be sad all the time about it and dread it and put my head in the sand and not do it. Or I could say, okay, well, this has happened. So now these are the things that need to be done. Of course, I still have my moments of being sad, but then I try to think, what are the happy, funny, good times? Be grateful for those and then continue on. And really important to, as you said too, to listen to our bodies. That gut instinct that we have, that people are like, oh, I'm feeling red flags, gut instinct. I really think we need to listen to it more. The more often we listen to it, the more in tuned we get, the better it is. And it's not always right. Sometimes I have a gut instinct and it's wrong, or I need more information and my opinion and thoughts can change. But it really is when we have that energy feeling of something's off, something's wrong, something's not right. Red flag, like all of those things. We really do need to listen to those things because our body is in tune to that energy and it's feeling that energy from that other person, the situation, the whatever it is that's going on. Pardon the interruption. If you're liking the show so far, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. It really means a lot to me. It helps grow the show and the channel and to the show.
Exactly. And I'm feeling like, sometimes I was telling you like my last, which I share with you, like my last relationship in United States was like very painful, like one of the most painful experiences in my life. And I felt like after this experience, how you can be grateful for that pain that you went through and understanding that all
Mhm.
these red flags from the beginning and seeing all these red flags from the beginning and continue to like kind of trusting that it's for the good, and I understand, even though I didn't, like what you said, like even I didn't get that experience, probably I didn't send my art to the space and didn't have the other thing that happened with for me. And I'm just feeling like each experience that we're capable to experience or to face, I feel it's for the good for us. And
Mhm.
that what I choose to believe, because it's my choice. And I believe like until I'm here, I'm living a joyful life. Until I'm here, I'm living my dream life. I'm traveling around the world. I do what I love. I live in the best neighborhood. I'm always like happy and joyful, and I'm really like appreciating what I have. And I started to appreciate more and more the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, because this life. And it cannot be just pink elephants all the time because it's going to be boring as well.
Right.
And that's why we have all these different cycles. And I'm feeling like people scary to live life,
Mhm.
like for real. They're scary to experience the journey, the adventure, the fairy tale, because I'm just feeling sometimes like my life is a fairy tale, like I'm come from nothing and was no like any background, any kind of like a hope, let's say like this. And I managed to create the life of abundance and joy. And because I believe in that, I believe in myself, I believe in my um like in my dreams that I can do it. I can manage it to happen for myself. And I do. And I'm feeling like it's all about up to us,
Mhm.
because we get to make that choice and decide that I'm doing it. Nobody else would do it for me. I do it because I want to do that. And we, of course, in the beginning, when we started to practice it, and our body, especially like I'm thinking like I've started to think about a while ago, like when we're creating the things that never been created before, like how we can manifest it, like how
Mhm.
it's going to happen. So we get to go through the experiences that we never experienced before, because we creating completely different reality for ourselves. So we get to be as open as possible and trust to the process as much as we can, and just jump in, like do this quantum jump, whatever it calls, like,
Mhm.
because we're creating completely different reality that it's our brain cannot even imagine. And that's why it's just our heart can do that, or our body can do it, because we don't know, and it's still there for us. The thing is, we get to just trust. And
Mm.
many people just very like controlling, like I was one of them many years ago. I was very controlling the way I want to have my life. I have very clear picture the way I want to do that. And the funny things what happened, I learned like recently 2 3 years ago, the pictures I was imagining stopped to happen. In the beginning was always happening, the way I wanted. And because I was so controlling, and I'm like, oh, I'm moving in completely different reality right now. I even don't know where I'm moving, but my brain cannot even control anymore the reality I'm moving towards. So through, I get to just trust the process. Yes, it's scary. Yes, in the beginning, you get to question many things and still
Mhm.
trust. And that's not easy part. Be vulnerable, trust, and just be.
Yes, I agree. And I think, I mean, where it's hard is you have to believe. I mean, there's sayings of whether you think you can or think you can't, either way, you're right, which I do believe that. But there's certain things that when people say like, how can we just trust or how can we just believe? Then what kind of comes to mind is, well, we just trust and believe the sun is going to come up tomorrow. The sun is going to go down tonight. The moon will come up most times unless there's no moon. But like things like that, like there is oxygen, there is gravity. Um, and like with for me with technology, I'm not good with technology. I have no idea. I do not understand how the internet works, but I know it does. And I trust it to work every day when I turn on my computer. And I know that there's things being done to make it work, but I don't know. I have zero control over any of that, but I trust and believe it will. And so when we think about our own life and things going on of what we want, as you said, as we meditate and we feel that energy and we do things like we just have to trust and believe. And other ways for me to describe that some people will understand is when we think of the placebo effect, people who have taken sugar pills or had fake surgeries and then they're better. It's because they've had a belief and the body has healed itself or fixed itself, or people believe enough and eventually they get that job, they get that trip, they do these things. I mean, I'm not saying that we can just sit there and manifest and just believe. I mean, obviously we still have to take action and do things, but if we when we focus on what we want, when we focus on anything, if we focus on what we don't want, that's what we're gonna get. If we focus on what we do want, that's what we're gonna get. And it's more of, as you said, the centering belief from our heart, not the brain. The brain will do the things we need to do, but we have to have that core belief of energy of just knowing that what we want will come true and happen, and then, of course, we have to do some things to make it happen.
Exactly. And I feel like when we're living our with our heart and open up our heart because we choose to. And I feel like in the end of the day, I still choose to live with my heart
Yes.
open, no matter what is going on, no matter what's the experience. Like the programming is saying to me, "Oh, that's not experience, not good experience. This is not like this is good experience." It's just experience, and that's what I get to focus on. That's okay. I go through this experience right now, and like how do I feel about that? Do I feel something about that? And I'm like, I get to just go through this, and I just know I get to go through this. And maybe sometimes I feel neutral because I don't let feelings to go through me, because I'm saying to myself, it's not necessary to to push myself through all these emotions, because what I will gain from that, nothing. Just like this roller coaster again, I get to
Right.
just observe and say to myself, okay, it's interesting, and at the same time, I'm curious about that. Yes, I am. And how much of my time, of my energy, I want to be in that space. And I said
Right.
to myself, maybe once a month. Let's try next time, just do it like once a month, maybe twice a month. I don't know. My body will say it in a natural way. So I get to trust when my body wants to be in that space again. So, like for me, I'm more trusting my heart and my body, and they're just leading me or like guiding me, because that's what I get to do. And the funny things, when we're neutral, it's like we just feeling the body, because like let's say if you in relationship, like with the guy, I was saying about red flags, right? And you know that your body or like your heart somehow connected to that person. Even so, your brain saying to you, it's danger, it's danger, it's danger, and your heart, it still want to go through that experience. Yes, it's scary because like your brain all the time saying red flag, red flag, red flag, and like body knows or your heart knows somehow why it's necessary to go through that experience, and trusting to the process of like the experience itself. And because you know after this experience something magical and something completely like unbelievable, or like you don't even understand like how magical and how amazing it can be the next experience after this experience. Even so, it's a painful experience can be because of this all the things that the programs was telling us that it's red flags or it's danger. In reality, it's not about that. It's about the experience itself, right? Yeah, like you said, your mother is past, but it's experience that open up the other doors in your life by grounding you in a completely different
Mm.
way, by understanding that you are your own pillar, your own, kind of like order and flow in the same time. And it's center you more, it's grounding you more towards something more beautiful that's happening next in your life. And that's what we got to trust, because through the pain we grow, through the pain we become way more shiny, way more joyful, I don't know, way more magical, way more like divine. And I feel the pain is good, because like if you look at the pain and pleasure in our brain, it's the same, it's the same
Mhm.
wave it works. So like it's just the programs that's installed in us, like making us that's give us this feeling. When we neutral ourselves, it's going to be just experience that we get to go through, because that when we're just listening to our heart and like our heart started to beat, like our heartbeat. Because when the woman get pregnant, the first what is developed in the baby, embryo, is a heart, the heartbeat.
Right.
And that's why I feel like we get to trust to our heartbeat. And that's why we get
Mm.
to trust to our heartbeat, not our breathing. Breathing is creating things, and the
Mm.
heartbeat, it's what we get to create through the breathing. And that's why I feel like when we listen to our heartbeat, and like it's scary, like because when we in a relationship with a, I would call like with a red flag, like it's scary. It's like our heart is just beating up so hard, like very very strong. And it's good, it's very very good. That's what we get to go through, because it's good for us, for the next
Mm.
step that we're doing, or for the next experience that it's important for us to go through. That's more magical and more beautiful and more like unconditionally that you cannot even imagine right now. But the thing is like it's there for us for the next cycle that we get to go through. And I'm feeling like people scary to listen to the heart. They're scary
Mhm.
of like when the heartbeat like so strong, and like this, because they don't know, they want to control.
Right.
That's the reality. And I'm like, I don't want to control this anymore. It's something different. And like it's something like my heart is like beating up so strong. Like I get to go through this because my heart is every time is beating so strong. I get to listen to my heart. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's probably dangerous, but that's what I get to go through.
Yeah, and it's interesting too that there's some studies that show that physically what goes on in our body, the difference between excitement and kind of that fear, um, fear kind of anxiety, but more of the fear base. What goes on in our body and brain is exactly the same. The only difference that we say it is with excitement, we're looking forward to the outcome. It's going to be a positive, good outcome. We're going to have fun. It's going to be great. We're really excited. With fear, we just think that something bad might happen. We're unsure. We're leaning toward the negative. Physically within our body, it's the exact same thing. So really when we think of fear, all we have to really do is change our mindset to be like, and obviously these aren't in dangerous situations, but because then you're right to be in fear. But if it's like taking that job or going on that trip or learning salsa dancing. It's like, I don't know, I'm really not. And we just go to that negative and we get ourselves all worked up about what if I trip? What if I do anything bad? But then it's the opposite. If we're excited, we're like, it's going to be great. I'm going to have so much fun. I'm going to learn. It's going to be tough. I'm going to have some challenges, but I'm going to get good at it. Then that is
Exactly.
all just a choice of our mindset of what is going to happen as the outcome.
Exactly. That's that from my like how I see that. Um, I don't know, but I feel like sometimes the matrix actually build in the way that we're using our brain instead of using our like listen to our heart and
Mm,
or like listen to our body. And that's why I have my mentorship program where I'm educating, not educating, I'm guiding people, like listen to their body, like listen to the journey of the body, because we're living in the body, like all emotion and everything what's happening is happening in the body. You cannot like we can have a different situations that the way we deal with the situation. And I'm saying to myself, as fast as I can get through this, let's say you fight with someone, like in or had an argument, and after you don't before when you're like very young, you don't talk maybe for months until you started to talk because of that argument. And I started to think about that. I'm like, why do I get so upset, or why do I get so like disconnected, or like feeling like um disappointed or whatever? And I'm like, why I'm doing it to myself? and and I started to kind of like be better and better. I said like I get to recover as fast as I can about that, and because I like that person, I like to enjoy my time with that person. I enjoy laughing. We have a lot of other things that we're kind of like enjoying to be with each other, and here I am. We had this argument, and this argument change our relationship, and I started to kind of like get over it as fast as I can. I just like,
mm,
okay, next day I apologize. So after 5 minutes or whatever, after like 10 minutes, I apologize. Oh, it was misunderstanding. I'm sorry. I want to give you a hug. Let's be like continue to kind of like just argument that we have. We disagree about that. And it's fine to be disagree, because we can be disagree about many things and we still can do amazing things together. And
absolutely.
people like being upset about that as well. And it takes them months sometimes to recover. So like I'm asking already, like I was my friends, I'm like, okay, we had an argument. I'm asking my friends, how long do we need to recover from this? 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, when I'm going to check in with you. And I say to them, okay, I'm going to check in with you in like in 1 week, because it's like that person is still upset, like, and it doesn't matter how much apologize I have, like apology I have, or like how much I want to give the hugs or something like that. And I'm just feeling like it's just so interesting the way people operate. And for
Right.
me, I just want to live joyful. And sometimes people like look at me and say like, you're so joyful, you're always so happy and joyful. It irritates me. And I'm like, okay, it's something probably you get to work through in your life.
Mm,
It irritates you. Like, why does it irritate you? And they cannot answer to that. They cannot answer to that questions. They just feel the irritation, because I feel they're jealous that they cannot be in that level of consciousness,
mm,
of joyful consciousness themselves. And they're scary to ask questions. They're scary to asking for support, or asking for like kind of like, how do you stay that? Because they don't want
right.
to look stupid, or they want to like kind of um be in that space where like I'm looking stupid, or I'm like I don't know how to ask
Mm,
the support, or like a help.
right. And I think though too is a lot of times people will say, "Oh, well, I'm glad you're happy all the time. That's just the way you are. I'm this way, and that's just the way I am." And when I hear people say, "Well, that's just the way I am," I say, "Well, that's your choice." And they're like, "No, it's the way I am." And I say, "No, it's your choice. You're choosing to be." Now, it's not easy to be happy and joyful and things all the time. As we've said, we go through challenges and things, but how long do we want to be upset and sad or angry and those things? And if we keep choosing to do those and we keep replaying that stuff in our mind that makes us angry, sad, or whatever, we keep living in it. Like anybody
Mm-hmm.
can take 10 minutes and sit down and think of something or someone that made them angry and get all worked up and all angry and just be like angry for the rest of the day. Or they can sit and be stuck in traffic or something and just think of something that was really fun and exciting and they love to do or in the past or looking forward to something that they're planning to do and be in a good happy mood. And so it really is a choice. And so when those things happen to us that make us sad or angry or whatever, be sad, be angry, be what it is for a while and then question, okay, why am I continuing to replay this over and over and over in my mind? I can't change it, but I can change how I respond to it. And it happened. And if there's something I can do, like you do with your friends, to be, how long is this going to be? We want to fix it because I think it's great. Nobody should agree with absolutely everything someone else says. There's a problem if you do. You should have some disagreements or differences of opinion anyway. And then take that and be like, "Okay, now it's time to move forward. I had that, I felt that emotion. Okay, maybe this is why. Maybe I need to work on something, but now it is time to move forward." So I agree with all that. And Aisha, we just are about to wrap up here, but before we do, a couple of things is where can people find you if they want to work with you and they want to help, like tap into that joy and feeling good and working through whatever it is that we need to work through. And I say that because all of us need to work through things. It's not just simple and easy. And then also, where can they find your book?
People can find my book on Amazon and all platforms. Actually, it's just writing Joyful Living Guidebook by Aisha Makara, and it's on Google, and you can find where you can like different websites. About me, you can find me on Aisha.today. It's AISHA.today, where people can find what I'm doing right now, about my project, about my mentorship program, about my art, my investment opportunities that's I'm working on, and different things. It's on my website, and I'm working right now on my other website that's called joyfullivings.com. It's about my online program and about joyful living.
Perfect. And I will make sure that we have links to everything in the show notes to make it easy for everybody to connect with you. So thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you very much for having me. Joyful living, namaste.